Good evening. It's week 2 of our Magic Realm game. It is the Woods Girl, the Witch King, Dwarf, and Druid. Scores are 4-2 to 1-1, as you can see there. The game has mostly been the Woods Girl drawing some treasures out of the Hoard, the Witch King getting there a little too late, but he's been trying to cross bridges for his bridge magic thing, which I will actually put little tokens on the bridges he has indeed crossed, those two. And the dwarf at the lair and the druid down here at the pool. So it's been an interesting game. Usually, strangely enough, the lure of the quests takes me away from treasures. In this case, the treasure just sort of, appeared to me. um, and it's worked out pretty well. But it's week 2, and we have to sort of figure out then what we are going to do with all of our characters here. So first things first, we need to draw 3 cards. So the deliveries are done. The druid can complete his before the end of the game, and he'll get his victory point. The elf is still there to hire, and the druid is still also there. But we do have 3 more to draw for week 2. So we have a wolf bounty, so any wolves that appear. We have the damsel in distress, the lair or the hoard. Well, that's interesting because I think the hoard and the lair are both up. So give me 1 minute. We'll roll that. And the third one is King Soldiers last for 2 weeks. Pretty much you have to turn over a weapon. And actually, I do any weapon at this point, or any piece of armor. Kill Bashkar's Lancers, Rogue, or Woodfolk, or donate a large treasure. 1 per category. You can speak out against the king to make the soldiers your enemy. You might want to do that for various quests, or just if you want to go and kill the soldiers for their gold, notoriety, and treasures. And if you do become an enemy, you then score 1 VP killing a soldier during the event. The event lasts 2 weeks. So pretty much for weeks 2, which we'll draw over there, and weeks 3, as you can see here, the King's Soldiers is in play. Damsel, lair, or hoard. So we're going to do lair is 1, 2, 3. Hoard is 4, 5, 6. 6. So it looks like the damsel is going to appear at the hoard, which does indeed put her right there, along with the octopus. So we got some characters. What do we have to do? So we either have to end a phase unhidden. She becomes your follower and roll a random dwelling that is her home. She can go back to any dwelling for a point, or if you return her home, you're going to get a bonus. Done. But the octopus, remember, is indeed in that clearing. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to get that done. So those are our 3 events. And now we pretty much need each character here to figure out what's what. So let's put the damsel here. Let's put the octopus up top. And then we'll put the Witch King here and the Woods Girl there. And it's getting a little crowded there on the board, but we sort of know what's going on. So what is the Woods Girl's strategy here in terms of this damsel? She has to end a phase unhidden. That's just what you got to do. Ending a phase unhidden, though, is deadly for her. She just can't. She can't run from the thing. She can't kill. She can kill it, but she can't run from it for sure. Don't know how I feel about any of that at the moment. One, 2, 3, 4. She can't get to the druid in a day. The druid is going to get to the druid. Strange. That's quite the sentence. And the octopus is not a good ambush target. They're just not. It's just not a good ambush target. I suppose the Witch King could technically get the damsel because he could end a phase. The damsel would become his follower. She's not a combatant. She won't be killed by the octopus. And he could melt into mist at the end of the day, thus taking the damsel. So I think he can. Think he could do that. I think he is going to hide. And if we do hide, we'll rest twice. Extra enchant and an enchant phase. So what he's going to do is his last enchant phase, he will become unhidden and thus let the octopus block him. The Woods Girl, I think, is going to just get out of dodge. She's got a lot of treasure already. She has the good book. She could theoretically read runes and even get a spell. I don't think she's going to be able, though, to claim the Druid's test. I think the Druid is indeed going to get there. So what does she have? She has the challenge at the end still. Does she have any fatigue counter? She doesn't. So she could just walk out 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, what she can't do is she can't be too crazy. If a bat shows up, she's going to get stuck with bats. And she does not have the speed to cast that spell, and she'd rather not deal with the bats either. So I think she's going to move, hide, move, and move into Ledges 1. So move out, hide, move, and move to Ledges 1. And she's looking to complete this challenge. That leaves us with our buddy here, the Dwarf. So the Dwarf, what is the Dwarf looking out for? So if you notice what we have here, so we have the lair. Dragon could show up at the lair, and the goblins could technically show up again because they're not dead. They just got returned to the board, and we are not a diplomat anymore. If this guy shows up at the lair, then we should be hidden. So I think we're going to extra hide, search, and search at the lair. Done. And then finally, the Druid. So the Druid got a little bit hosed in that he did not find a large treasure the entire time he was in the pool. Now, is there a large treasure in the pool? There are 3 large treasures in the pool, and we have not found one. The 3 treasures that are left, well, one is the Imperial Tabard, and we just can't carry it, which is too darn bad. So I suppose I could move back to the pool and maybe, well, no. So we have to be a little bit wary, right? So he doesn't know for sure that the Woods Girl's coming down, but he does know she has a potion. So I think we're going to go 1, search 1s, 2, and 3, and end up at the Druid's place. So we're going to move to the pool. That'll allow us to take 1 search, and then we do 2 moves to the Druid, and theoretically we should be the one turning in Gripping Dust, useless to the Druid anyway, and turn that quest in. And so there you go. That's day 8, and we are ready to start our week right here. So we can clear this red die off, and let's see what we get as a monster roll. We get a 4, so Giants and Trolls, so that's new. We're looking for gray hexes, and the Druid is first. So he's going to move. He's going to search one time, so he's got to roll a 3 or less, though. So not a great, but please get a 3. No, 6, so nothing. And he's going to go 1-2 to the Druid. So if we go and look at the Druid's quest here, the first, to bring him a potion, he rewards you, done. So he's going to get a VP and a type 2 spell and convert 2 chits to cast it, or you get another type 2 for chit. I think we'll take the spell. You get the VP no matter what. You either take the spell and convert 2 chits, or you take the chit. Now, I think we'll take the spell right now just because it's an easy way to score points. So let's go to his sheet here, and let's give him, so he scored ++ the Druid, and we get 1 point for cards, so that's going to be his second point. And I don't need to convert any chits, frankly. I mean, you might want to, strangely enough, like you might convert a single chit to a type 4. I'm sorry, from you might convert this chit from a type 8 to a type 2, because that is going to give us one more gray magic chit that we can use. And all we need is one of these to cast, this to cast Guide Spider or Octopus. This is for the octopuses, the octopi, as it were. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spell. So let's do that first. Oops, wrong thing. So let's get our spells out here. We'll drag the type 2 spells. Random. We're just going to draw one. And it is heal, which, I mean, isn't super useful, but it's, it's okay. Heal 4 wounded chits, bring them back into play, done, right? So we're going to get a spell. So that gives us a single spell, but that's going to be worth 2 points because right now he is winning spells with 1. Not a ton of winning. And then I'm going to convert this chit, which means that I am going to, let's see. Who casts type 2 spells slowly? The Witch? Maybe the Witch, right? No, those were way too fast. So nope, not the Witch. Okay. Well, we gotta look for one now. I don't think he has anything. Nope, he has all type 3 magic, so that's not going to do. Do we have anyone with a type 4 magic? Inquisitor Enchantress. Oh, she has a lot of, but she might be all super fast. No, she has one. Okay, perfect. Can I drag one of these out? I cannot. Why can I not pull anything out of her? Well, that's super awkward. Okay, there we go. All right. Awkward it is. Oh, okay. Something is not quite working. Oh, I think I was, you know what? I know exactly what it was. I was on. So it has this weird thing where if you're over being over a text thing, and this version still has an error in one of the XMLs. It's fine. No worries. So I converted this chit here. So this chit became this one right here. So he has a magic, right, that, and there you go. We've converted. And so that was all his Druid. I don't think the Druid sticks around. The Druid leaves. So he is done. Oops. Well, I am just all over the place here with this UI right now. So there we go. Okay. So the Druid's done. These 3 still remain. And that literally was, sorry, the first guy to move. got all that happening. So we'll take the Druid off the board. Done. There you go. Does anything appear? No, because it's the Druid and he can ignore. He pieces with nature no matter what. The Woods Girl goes. She goes 1, 2, and 3. Now she doesn't have anything to rest, so she doesn't fall asleep. Now is she? She's going to hide here. The second move, so she gets to roll a single die to hide, and she doesn't. But so she ends up there. But there are no giants and no trolls in this tile, so she is done. The dwarf goes. The dwarf is going to hide. He rolls 1 die to hide in the caves, and he is done hiding. And now he's going to roll 2 loots. So the lair has 6 treasures in it. He gets the 4th. Shoes of Stealth. Well, he cannot use the Shoes of Stealth. He is way too heavy. He just pulls those right over his giant dwarf foot. And the second roll is a 6, so he finds nothing the second roll. So we are done there. The Witch King is going to hide because he wants to get some rests in. So the Witch King rolls 2 dice to hide. He does indeed hide. He's going to rest twice. So you rest both of these chits. He's going to enchant just like that. Then, well, he's going to use his extra enchant. Then he's going to become unhidden and enchant. And get blocked. And end a phase, unhidden for the damsel. So the damsel is now on him, but he is blocked by the octopus. And does anything else appear in there? Well, no, because, oh yeah, maybe, giants and trolls. Yep, Stink draws a giant along with the octopus. Now, unfortunately, if we had any small treasure, we could give it to him and get a point and get a large treasure in exchange. However, as it stands, we can't do that. So he is done. And I think that is it for everybody. Yeah, Bones would have drawn, but he doesn't draw, so done. So over here, we are going to, and Lord knows how the damsel in distress avoids this, but we're going to burn a purple and melt into mist again, and so we are now mist. And, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We will be out of the clearing or not, effectively. So, and then the goal is to take her back to a dwelling. What dwelling, you might ask? That's a great question. 1, 2, 3. We could take her to the house. Well, first off, we have to roll to see what her dwelling actually is. So the damsel's home is... The damsel calls the guardhouse the home. Well, guess where we're absolutely not going. Do we have a damsel's home? No. What we're going to do is we can place this chit here. We are not going to make that trip. I can guarantee you we're not making it. So we're just going to go to the closest spot. And the question is where? Where should we go? What is better for... What is better for us? Any campfire ideally would be better because it'd be closer. No, really wouldn't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I suppose here. So okay, so there you go. So we've got his plan. Currently, he's just poofed out in mist. So that was day 8. Now it's day 9. So the Woods Girl still heading for her challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not ideal. She can't pick up the Imperial Tabard. I think we're going to go. Now, this is a dangerous fight for the Woods Girl, though. This is easily a you get yourself potentially killed. So that's something to keep in mind. What does she have? Does she have anything that's going to make that work for her? No, probably not. A bat. She dragged the bat in. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think we're going to go all the way to 3. I think we will pull up and stop at 2. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna hide once and move into the ledges. 1, I believe, and we will be done there. The Witch King is going to. So the Witch King can kill these guys. He can at least kill one of them, if not both of them. Might be worthwhile to do so. But we do not have a ton of purple left, so we have to be at least a little bit wary too, right? So if we move out, so the Witch King for this would move out, move to 1. Oops, wrong guy. Move to 1. He could alert, and he would be alerting a type 5. So he would alert a chit. He would definitely rest. He would use his extra enchant and an enchant. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we don't want to do that. That's too many. And if we're going to do also, what we would do instead is we do exactly. We wouldn't even rest. We would enchant and enchant, and then we would move back to the horde. And we don't want to do that either because we got to be hidden. So we actually have to hide. So we move out, we alert, we would hide, and then move back into the horde. The only problem being if we don't hide, then we're sort of screwed. If we fail to hide. And I'd rather not kill the damn giant. I'd rather find a darn small treasure and give it to the giant for the point. But having said that, he is in the way. And we're a point away in prowess. And what we need to do is we need to cross one more bridge. We could cross this bridge, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could cross this bridge, but only going through these ghosts again. I think. I mean, it is what it is. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do exactly what we said we're gonna do. We're gonna try to kill one of these guys, pretty much. And if we go in and we're not hidden, we will have to immediately. And then the dwarf's gonna hide and search again, and then the druid. Well, the druid has to figure out and get moving. So what's the druid got? He's got to find the camp. He's got to find someone to trade with, which is friendly. So that's Bashkars or Lancers. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or I think he's going to move to Ledges 4. And he is done. So that is day 9 written, and it's time to, time to get a monster roll here. And it's a 5, so more spiders and more imps. So the Woods Girl is first, and the Woods Girl is going 1, 2, 3, but she is going to be hidden when she goes. And because she's going to roll it in the quote-unquote wilderness, she rolls a single die. So she is done. Does anything appear? No, because I don't think we get no spiders here. The dwarf is going to hide with one die because he's in the caves, and he does. So he is hidden. And then he searches 2 times, hoping to not roll 6s anymore. So the lair, he gets the 3rd treasure in the lair. The Girdle of Energy. I mean, sure. That actually can be useful in certain situations. And one more, and he gets a 1. So a big 1. The Bejeweled Dwarven Vest. Well, I mean, let's face it, it's Dwarven, for crying out loud. Intercepts thrust attacks. Nice. Gives 23 gold when destroyed by attacks greater than or equal to H. Done. And we also pull a great treasure, so we are actually, he's tied for 2nd. I'm just adjusting some scores here. Okay, so that looks good. Does he draw anything with spiders? No, nothing with spiders. So he is done. The Witch King moves out. The Witch King is going to alert a type 5. So he'll alert that one because it's the slower one anyway. He is going to hide, and he needs to not roll a 6. You roll a 6, all plans are off. And he does roll a 6. That's going to suck because he's going to fatigue this. And he moves back into the horde. He's immediately blocked. And a spider appears because a spider appears. And done. So that stinks. And he is done. And then the druid goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, does he have a... Hold on. Did I screw that up? No, he has nothing that he needs to rest. And he goes there. And nothing appears. So that is the day. And unfortunately for the Witch King, he's got a lot of monsters and he's not hidden. And the reason why that stinks is because they're all going to start on his sheet. And since he has no moves, he will be killed as soon as he completes whatever he's going to do. So he's going to melt into mist. This fatigues because at midnight it fatigues if he doesn't use it. And he is done with his day and he is melted into mist. And that stinks a little bit. Since that's just a waste of a day. So it is day 10. The Woods Girl is pretty well on her way to getting to her challenge here. And she's indeed going to go 1, 2, 3. And she might... I'm going to... 1, 2, 3. So she's going to go 3, but she's going to alert first. So strangely enough, an alert phase is going to be... So she's going to go there. She's going to have that bow alerted when she goes and talks to that dude. So she is done. The Witch King does not have purple at this point in time. So his escape plan is thwarted. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to move to Oakwoods 2. So he's just going to go. The reason he can do that is because Bones is going to draw Dip Ogres, and he has Diplomat. So he's just going to get out of Dodge for now. He'll go back. But for now, out of Dodge. Dwarf. I don't think it's a bad... I mean, you know, it's a lot of treasures, but I think maybe another day or two before we move on, because I do want... So if we're going to move out of here, if we're going to get out of here, we want this layer to be pretty... We have 3 left, so we'll probably get 1 or 2 out of there. And then our goal would be to head back, hire the guard. I'm going to just delete that because he's not going to go up there. Then we can hire the guard, and then we use the guard to move out into the rest of the board quicker. So 1 more treasure might help us. And then finally, the Druid here, He is looking to do what? Find the large campfire. That's one thing. Looking for a group to trade with, but that's Lancers or Bashkars. So that still means woods. So we've got to find a way to get to the woods. God, I hope it's not this woods. And this woods sort of also sucks. I mean, we could have maybe found this, but we're going to go one. Ah, all that is bad. Can we cast Guide Spider or Octopus again? We can. We can. We have the magic to do it. I mean, the funny part is we could grab some of that notoriety and possibly steal some points, really, from, say, the Witch King. So if we went in here, and we'd have to be hidden, so we could hide, move, as a for instance. We would like to get to the house, obviously, but if we hide, move, we could get the octopus on our side. And still remain hidden, possibly. Use him to fight the giant, because he could kill the giant. Now he has to dodge. He has to dodge this club, which means this can't flip effectively. And he has to do this. Guy can't flip, but once he hits, he pretty much could auto kill the giant. It's going to take him 2 rounds to do it. So, the chance is not super high. How's that? We're also trying to get to the house 1, 2, 3, 4 again. And you're just getting a VP for getting to the house. So the question is, do you go in and try to swipe that giant? That's a good question. I do not hate it. It's like the war druid here. We're war druiding. Now we're out of gray, so we can't. There's no more casting at that point, so we have to make this one count. And if you're not hidden, you can still cast, but everything's going to be on your sheet, and you are then dead. So I don't like that either. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're just going to get to the house, the Oakwoods. So we're going to book it 1, 2, 3, 4 to Oakwoods 2. We're going to deliver this darn ale, effectively. So we are done, and I think that is the day written, day 10. So let's get this done. We need a monster roll here first. It's a 5. So spiders and imps again. Woods Girl is first. She's going to alert her bow. So first thing she does, she alerts the bow. That's her alert phase. And then she strides in. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And she is done. No one else appears at the end. She will have to roll for the rogues at least. And she is done. The Druid goes 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't draw anything. The Witch King goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Also doesn't draw anything. And then the Dwarf hides once which he does, loots twice, which he succeeds at once. So he gets the second thing, Shielded Lantern, extra phase in the caves. That is just a little bit awesome. And one more time. One or a two this time, but a 6 and nothing. And nothing's going to appear because no spiders in these caves. And we are done. And it's day 11. These guys aren't fighting. Oh, wait, the Woods Girl has a combat here, effectively. So, two things. She's got to roll against the rogues to not get chased out of here. So she's going to meet with neutral. She needs pretty much anything but a 6. She gets a 5, so she's okay with the rogues. But now she's got to fight this dude. So this dude is on her sheet. So she's going to play that. And pretty much any move will do because he either doesn't hit her. And I'm just going to, covering the move barely matters at this point. It really comes down to we have to do medium plus damage, star damage, effectively. So we have to what? Increase by 1, which sort of sucks. Right. Because it's so she does light, star, star. So light, medium, heavy damage. Or how about this? She doesn't need to increase by 1. She just needs no change. So it's a 50% chance to kill. And he either, this is a bad fight for her, frankly. So we're gonna try because we're here. But let's see what happens. So first things first, we got to roll to see where he ends up, and we're hoping he doesn't line up. 2/3 chance he does not line up. He does line up, so that's problematic. Does he flip? That barely matters at this point, and it doesn't. So he does not flip. She gets the first shot. She rolls a single die, and she's looking for a 3, a 2, or a 1, and she will kill him before he even gets the shot off. Nope. -3. Oh, geez. Okay, he's doing heavy damage. And he kills her. No change. He does heavy damage, and he puts one directly through Woods Girl. That is, I just dropped my phone on the floor. Oh, that is a bad fight for her, isn't it? So the chance of her, what is the chance of her losing that fight? It is effectively either he lines up, which he did. So there's a 2/3 chance of him not lining up. Or he flips. So there's a 70% chance of him not flipping. So right there, he has a 66% chance and a 70% chance. So at that point, it's getting close to 50-50. Yeah, so this is a bad fight for her. She should never take that. She probably shouldn't have taken that fight. If I dice that out even again and he doesn't line up, right? Yeah, so if he doesn't line up, he doesn't hit her this round, and she's got another shot at him, and so on. But that's what happens. So she gets tagged. And she dies with the challenge. So he goes back home victorious. All her crap gets sort of lined up here. So he had to either, he had to line up or he had to flip. So those two things. And then, frankly, at that point, it's actually a little dicey because he's doing heavy damage. And what he needs to do is he needs to go down 3 levels. So at that point, if he does line up or flip, it's a 70% chance to get a kill. So it was amazingly likely. First off, it was fairly likely she kills him ahead of time, 50-50, which she didn't. And then everything else fell not in her favor. That's one of the first times I got the Woods Girl killed because, again, she's not if she wasn't hit, right? So we'll put her in the dead pile like that. And she is done on day 11. It does happen. All of her stuff is sitting there. There you go. And I think we need to write day 12. We need to move on. Just move on. The best character falls. It's going to happen sooner or later. So both the Witch King now and the Druid are heading to the house. 1, 2, 3. So I think the Witch King is going to hide. Well, you know what? Let's not even hide. What we're going to do is we're going to rest. And we're going to then enchant. And that's going to give us some magic back. So we're going to rest all these chits and get the magic back. So we're going to take a day because we just don't want to get caught up. Right? There's 2 treasures in here. I can obviously grab the 2 treasures, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this newly found shielded lantern. And so we're going to extra move to 2. Let's see. So extra move to 2, extra move to 2, and then move. Like we get 4 moves now in cave. So move. We're going to go all the way to here. And I think with our goblin buddy, we are going to be able to get quite a ways. So let's go, and we're going to move to cavern 3. So extra move to 2, move. It's another extra move, by the way. Move to cavern 3. Done. And that's that shielded lantern talking. And then finally, the Druid, he is going to 1, 2, 3. He's going to hide and then move to the end. And he's going to turn in, hopefully, his ale. And he will be done. So that is our day 12 written. Is that 12 or 11? That is day 11 written. She died on day 10, end of day 10. So day 11 is written. Let's make sure we move this back. What is the monster roll? You can see that someone dying throws me off my rhythm for a day or two. Serpents and demons. Oh, sadness. Delete that and done. So what do we got here? We got the Druid. Druid's going to go to here. Is he hidden? He rolls 1 die to hide because he's the reclusive Druid. And he is indeed hidden. Does anyone show up at the inn? No. House or small campfire. So he's there. He's going to turn in his delivery. So he delivers the ale. And he gets $8. And so 10 to start. And 8 here. Done. So he has $18. So the Druid actually is scoring some money too at this point. So we will look very soon here in a couple of days. We will see scores. And the Druid is done with his day. The Dwarf. The Dwarf makes his big move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing appears because it's only giants and trolls there. If a troll appears, great. If a dragon appears or whatever, well, I think he can handle. Is it trolls? Yes. Oh my, he could get actually both of these, weirdly enough. We can have roar in a cave. Huh. Well, on a 1 or a 4, right? You can get either of these. So there you go. If we get a troll, we're fighting them, and so on. If we get a dragon, we can use the goblin to lure them and then fight them and kill them. And the Witch King is going to not go in. He's going to rest 3 times, pull all these chits back, and then he's going to use. He needs 1. He just want 1 of these. If we have 1 purple, then we can melt into mist, and we are done. And I don't think anything appears. I think it's all quiet here on the Western Front. So what the Druid needs to do now is the Druid does need to roll against the Rogues, because the Rogues might decide to challenge him in some fashion. They do cause trouble. Let me lock this. They do cause trouble. So now we're going to meet with the unfriendly. Oops, I just locked the dice too. 5, they challenge the Druid. He either loses 5 notoriety or block battles. That's a good question. Can he run from these guys? If he runs, he might not burn the 5. Oh, these are the soldiers. These aren't the rogues. I mean, is he unfriendly with them or grumpier with them? No. But he can run from them. And so the question is, do you just run? Or do you burn the 5 points? I think he's just going to run. So he's going to burn a 3 move, which he has right there, and he runs, and he is done. I don't know if he... So the delivery is done. It's not going to come into play anymore because he's turned it in. The King's soldiers, what do you have to do? Any armor or weapon. Kill a member of Bashkar, Lancers, Rogues, or Woodfolk. Donate a large treasure. Doesn't have any of that. I suppose he could decide to speak out against the king and then try to kill a soldier, but he really can't generate that kind. He would have to summon to get that done. Really. I'm okay for now. We'll just run out of there and we are done. There's no battle here and no battle over here. And so that is day 11. So now it's day 12. And we will do the, oops, it's day 12. Now we're going to move in. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to hide and then move. And it's not, he didn't move to the end. He moved to the house. That's the difference there, right? We said in, it was actually the house. Our dwarf. So we're going to make a move. So we're going to move. So 2 extra moves to here. So 1 there, 1 there. A move to the guardhouse, because extra moves don't count. We can record 2 moves, but we can record all of our extra moves, including, I always say, including moves. So if the extra moves in caves allows him to move faster in caves. Why? Because he's a dwarf. He knows the way around the caves. So it's effectively an extra move, an extra move. Both of those are free for him. Move into the guard. And then at that point, I think we execute a trade phase, and we're going to sell a bunch of crap. Probably this guy and this guy, maybe the Girdle of Energy too, frankly. Because that would give us, what, 22, 29 bucks. So we have 10 bucks to start. The guard are going to cost 10 bucks to hire. What, 12 bucks to hire. So ideally you want 36 bucks. And so what is this going to be? This is going to be, this is 16 right here, and this is 13, so 29. So we're going to have 39 bucks. So we could indeed get all of that done and have enough to hire them, have $3 left over, and then we can essentially walk them through these caves and then use them to hit up the mountain and move on out of there. We still have to locate the altar. That's worth 2 points, really, to get to the altar, if you think about it. So something to consider. And we have a great treasure. She had 2 great treasures, and he has a great treasure. But there you go. Oops. Make sure the scoreboards are up to date correctly. And done. Okay. And then what? The Druid. The Druid is last here, but not least. So the Druid is going to move to 5. So he has to go to 5 first. What's his goal now? Find the camp, which is a pain in the butt. I would almost have turned that in if I hadn't been run out of dodge here. Is there anything I can do? There really isn't anything I can do. There really isn't anything for him to do at this point. Scroll of Nature might be super useful to learn spells from, and you might get a spell or two. I don't know that there's any spells that I would necessarily chase in those lists, but it will, cement his lead in that respect. Do I want to? Do I want to end a day there to find the large campfire? Because the large campfire is going to be in either a super awkward place. Either this is the one spot it could be where it's okay. If it's in either of these 2 spots, that is not okay. And then frankly, unfortunately, Envoy sort of sucks too, because again, you are looking to find a campfire at that point, or you're looking to sit in the chapel, which either of which do not excite me at all, in terms of that. So I would say what we're gonna do. Okay, so that's not difficult. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move to 5. So this actually moved to 5, done. And then I'm going to move back into the house. I'm going to search twice, meaning I'm going to read this. Then move back into the house. Done. So, Witch King. Yep, everybody has a day 12. Let's roll the day 12 monster roll to see what's what. So 4, so we get more giants and trolls. And the dwarf is first. So the dwarf is going to head here. Bam, he walks right in. Does anything appear at the guardhouse? No. And then what does he do? He's going to do a trade phase. Now he's friendly with them, so he doesn't really have to roll. He's just going to dump all his stuff. So he's going to dump that and the Shoes of Stealth and this. And that's going to give him 29 extra bucks. So 29. So now he has 39 bucks. Now that higher roll is not amazingly, and he sells it to the guard. That's not an easy higher roll to get because I think it's a 3, 2, or 1 is going to give him on the friendly table there. Right, so what is his 4, 3, 2, or 1 actually will give him a shot. So I don't hate that. And he's got his buddy too. Hey, what's up, buddy? All right. So that is his day, and he is done. And so now he has all this cash. He's got tons of cash. He has 39 bucks. Now, for the moment, that's going to put him and put the Druid out a little bit. We're going to calculate scores here, like I said, in a couple days. The Druid is going to head here, and he's going to read runes in this book. So what I'm going to do is, let's look at the Scroll of Nature before anything else. Scroll of Nature. Where the hell is it? It's up here. So it's 3, 3, 2, and 2 are on top. So that sort of sucks, because theoretically we do this in order. I don't love that rule, by the way, but that's how it rolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my objects here, saved objects, get the spells. I'm going to get type 3s and type 2s. So, and these decks will have to stay out because, so we're going to draw 1, shuffle, draw 2, shuffle, shuffle, draw, and draw. So these, oops, and it doesn't really matter because we haven't seen the order. These can go away because they don't count. They don't have any of the extra spells in them, so we'll have type 2 spells there, type 3 spells right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to read runes as the Druid. We're going to drag this pile all the way down here momentarily. And now the Druid is immune to curses, so this is a really good power for us. I don't think we get any bonuses reading runes. So we're looking for a 4, 3, 2, or a 1 here first. So we get 2 shots at this. We get a 4, which awakens the spell. So the strange part is we can actually take this spell, flip it, and we can put it with this treasure. We can cast it with the treasure. So we have See Hidden Signs. Gain an extra search phase. So that is awakened, and it's right here. And we technically put it at the bottom of this pile, I believe. But I'm just going to take it like that. And then we roll again for our second search phase. 5, we are cursed, but we ignore curses, and we are done. So I'm going to pop those back. And we're done. And we move back in. And does anyone appear at... No, just the Lancers. And done. And he's going to 1, 2, 3. Does he hide first? He does hide first because we don't. Am I hidden or not as the Witch King is the question. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to waste the. Yeah, okay, and we are hidden. And that's going to allow me though to turn in Damsel. And all I get is 1 VP. She does not get anything. He doesn't get anything else for that. Because she did not bring her to her home. She's going to have to find her way home, pretty much. But he is done. And again, he could, don't get me wrong, he could kill a couple of those soldiers. He could declare himself an enemy of the king and nuke the soldiers. I don't know that he would get them in one fell swoop because, of course, they are armored. So Fiery Blast is not a good option here. But he could drain 1 or 2 of them and collect the victory point. And he might do that, just not today. So, okay, so what we have is we have literally every character is now sitting in a dwelling. So every character needs to quickly make a decision on this, right? Uh, I think we're close to bridge magic, and bridge magic can be useful because that flow charm is super useful. I mean, diplomat. As soon as I get rid of the card, I'm gonna then roll a 3 and be in that oak woods. So I hate to get rid of it. But maybe that's the way to go, right? So we are. The weird part is we are hidden, and so we could drain life twice on these natives. Probably hit them both times. It would be not free. We would pay some fatigue here. These guys are not fast enough to dodge it, and you could get 2 kills. You could declare yourself an enemy of the state. Now, this is one of the things that would start the PvP sort of system. Is if he declared himself an enemy of the king, then anyone else could say, no, 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 I'm for the soldiers, and then that makes them him and the other character enemies. Like the druid could then go, yep, I'm a good guy now, so we're gonna fight. But what I have to figure is ordering the movement and writing moves. It's a pain in the butt. So we're not there yet. So let me think about that for the Witch King. If I keep all my quests, kill these guys, that could be some prowess. It could be some gold. I'm going to get 1 VP. You don't get a VP per. You get a single VP for killing any soldier during the event at that point. So we're going to do it. So we declare the king as an enemy. So we are now enemies of the soldiers. And that is so small. I do dislike that. We're just going to put that down. So we declare that we are now the bad guy, and we are going to engage in combat with these guys, knowing that we can melt into mist. When because we I don't use watchful natives, but I do have restrictions on when you can kill the natives. So sort of a weird gig there. What we're gonna do is any of these guys can kill us. Can any of them? And it barely matters. We don't have a move chit. So pretty much anyone guts us as soon as we become unhidden. So on round 1, I'm going to use this chit. I'm going to fatigue this and use drain life, and I'm going to drain this guy. And we'll see where he ends up on the board. It barely matters, actually. 5, so he goes down here. Does he flip or not? Again, doesn't matter because there's no speed. He does flip, but there's no speed at which he becomes too fast to hit with this chit. So he is drained. It hits. He rests chits, but he can't rest these ones yet. And so this guy is killed. Do I become unhidden or not? No. Because it's a single target attack, you can roll the ambush as though you are ambushing. So we're going to go. Should have killed him second. should have done that later. We're going to kill this guy. So we're going to take this guy out, and this guy is a 4 at best. So once again, same deal. And doesn't matter where he goes. He goes 5, so he goes down 1. Does he flip or not? He does flip. Yeah, whatevs. And we hit him with a time 2. We drain him, and then these chits come back because we can rest these ones because he's a medium character. We've killed them. Do we become unhidden or not? And we do not become unhidden. And then we are going to let the combat time out effectively. And it's worth $6. It's worth a point. So it's worth a point because he is now an enemy with the soldiers. It is worth 14 prowess because he killed both of them. So he does get 14 prowess. He does collect 6 gold off their corpses before then skulking into the darkness. So the Witch King has 16 prowess. Oops, prowess is the first number. I'm sorry, 16 prowess now. He has 16 gold, which is more than the 10. So I should put a 10 there and a 10. Yep, so there you go. That's not going to be enough to actually put him in the money with gold. These two guys are killed. And he is done with the day. And the question is, does he turn in any of his quests? And I am going to say, so the only one I would either turn in what the diplomats does is it makes this clearing, he can just sit there and rest all his crap. And so it almost gives him a nice little spot in addition to the valleys that he can do that and rest. The trinket, man, I would love to get one flippin' thing to sell to give to the giant. Like any one thing. And the funny part is he could actually go to like the Flowers of Rest, strangely enough, and loot it because the one thing that the magic site is good at doing is pulling the top treasure off a pile, which is what you have to do there. So I'm not going to turn in any of my stuff. So he's done. The Witch King is done. I think the Druid is going to burn these 2 cards because I don't foresee me finding the campfires, and I don't foresee me sitting long enough. So I get Thief and Cursebreaker. So I can't do curses. I mean, I could do a curse. So that's lame. So unfortunately, I have Thief, and I get Cursebreaker. Technically, he could break a curse on someone else, but that's almost impossible given where we're at. So, okay, good enough. But I turned my quests in, and I am done. Woods Girl is dead. The Dwarf. Dwarf is keeping all of his quests, and we are done. So it is now day 13. The Witch King does need to get out of Dodge because he has no magic to sort of keep him intact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1, 2. So we're going to move to the Oak Woods again because I have Diplomat. That's actually fine because the ogres won't attack me. And then I am going to extra enchant. So that gives me that's four moves, and I am done. So he is done. The Dwarf is going to, well, I mean, he's going to try his hand at hiring. We have to just do it 4 times and hope for the best. And then our hapless Druid. Huh. So, I mean, I hate to say it, the Druid is going to declare the soldiers as an enemy. He's going to hide. And then he's going to search and try to get Thief done effectively. and he'll do 3 searches. He's going to try to get this thief thing done. And he is done. So that is the day 13 written. Let's get it on the books here. Oh, we got ogres, wolves, goblins, and octopus. Witch King is first. The Witch King gets out of dodge, 1-2. And he is going to enchant, enchant, enchant. So enchant, and he's going to take these. He's going to flip these. Done. And strangely enough, for the Witch King, he's going to pull ogres right there. And when he encounters the ogres, he's going to then befriend one and get the other one done. The dwarf's going to go. He's going to hire 4 times with friendlies. So he needs to roll a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1 because they cost 12 bucks. He gets a 3. So price times 2, he's going to spend 24 bucks. And add 14 to this, we're going to have Guard HQ. And that's pretty much it. We are done. So the dwarf has 15 bucks left. So we actually have some cash to spare. But that's his entire day. And the patrol does show up at the guardhouse. Might be clunky. We'll see in a minute. Done. The druid. The druid decides, you know what? I also don't like the soldiers. So he's going to hide. And he does so on a roll, 1 die, so he is hidden. Because he is hidden, now he rolls search phases until he gets a discover, so he gets 3 shots at this. He wants a 1 or a 4. So 1, nope. He gets 2, a 4, so he gets a discover, so he's going to score a thief. And he did that because he's now enemies with the soldiers. So there you go. That was his goal. And he gets a random treasure loot item from their pile. He's just going to take one of the treasures, of course, not the whole thing because he doesn't really have. And he's going to get Secret of the High Pass. So Thief becomes Secret of High Pass. So he scores Thief. That's another point. He gets a treasure from their pile here. That's what? The soldiers. So we'll take, we're just going to pick one. We're going to take the bottom one just because it just feels better. Flip it, and it's power boots. Okay. And it's not super useful, but it means he can carry heavy stuff now. So that's sort of interesting. And he is still hidden. So he is done, and he is hidden. He scores Thief, and I think that's it. Does anyone appear? No, because the patrols already appeared. And he is hidden now. So, we're going to put the ogre back. I should just have both. I should just write that so both the ogres show up, because the ogres are sort of a terrible friend, frankly. But we're going to score Diplo. So that's another point for the Witch King there. And we're going to toss that card. Draw another card. It's Rescue. So that's intriguing, and he can definitely do Rescue. All right. A lot of movement here this last couple days. And the other ogre just goes back to the box. He's done. So we have gray magic in every clearing on day 14. We have the guard. So we are going to copy this chit and we're going to paste it over here because we're going to need that. We're going to need that for 2 reasons, right? We're going to need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these guys. Yeah, I'm going to take all these guys to the dwarf's area. He's there. I'm going to copy him, and we will put him on the board if we need to. We're going to put him on the board here, to go with the dwarf. And then this one is going to go in here. So for day 14, we're going to have gray magic in every clearing. We are going to have. So the question is, how committed are we to killing all of the damn soldiers at this point? Because we can do it. It's going to take us another day to rest and enchant, because we have to enchant twice and rest twice. It's going to take us 2 days, and that's going to what that effectively is going to get us is a treasure at the end, I believe. Although, yeah, probably a treasure, right? That's probably what we're looking to grab. But we can't. I don't think it's that big a deal. We could either get a treasure off of them, or we could just head up to avoid sort of this. Effectively, it's an extra day to walk back there. You could get a little bit more gold, a little bit more notoriety. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4. None of that is any good at the moment. The reason it's not good is because it's day 14. So what you're going to have is you're going to have 2 die rolls. So there's a huge chance of getting one of those monsters prowling. And if that monster prowls, we're going to have to run out of there, or we're either going to have to run out of there, or we're going to have to melt into mist, or we're going to, or have the ogre, whatever. We have a chance of badness occurring. Effectively, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Um, the octopus would be sort of disastrous. We cannot kill the octopus right off the bat with the spell unless it's alerted. So we really, really have to be careful of what we're going to do. What am I going to do? That's a great question. What are you going to do, sir? That is a good question. I could finish bridge magic. If I finish bridge magic, then I can save myself the time and trouble of, because I can float then down. And so I could go kill the ghosts, as a for instance, to get to this bridge the next day, and that would not lose me any time, like you would think it might, right? So what I am going to do is I'm going to invoke rescue. So I'm going to roll a random native group, 1d6 plus 2, 5. The companies, the top member of the company, the guy who killed the woods girl, is stuck with these ghosts. And I'm going to put rescue right there. So we now have a rescue here. So we're going to put a rescue here, just like that. So there is my rescue buddy. So now, if I were to 1, 2, 3, I could either alert or I could hide. I cannot do both, which does stink a little bit. So what if I were to spend one more day here? 2 rests, right, as you would expect. An enchant and enchant, and then we'll move up 1 to 2. And there you go. There's my 4 moves. I will be fully enchanted up and so on. And so we've pinged rescue. We know where to go. We can get that done week 3. First thing week 3. The dwarf has his buddies now. So the dwarf is going to get out of dodge and go 1, 2. But he does get extra moves when he's in the caves, and that's going to allow him to go 1, 2. So he's going to go all the way to 1 here. And these guys are just going to follow him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and he gets to move to Cavern 1. And there's a lot of extra moves. So it's going to be move, 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 extra move, extra move. These guys are just following, and he is done. And that's Cavern 1. And he's on his way, moving out. For the second half of the game, he's actually going to apply the mountains, maybe the high pass, and so on and so forth. The Druid, I mean, really the answer is, oh, and since he ended his day in a dwelling again, even though they're not happy with him, he's going to ditch Cursebreaker. That is not a good whatchamacall. So now he has big game. Also not great, but okay. But he can kill things, at least, with what he has. And so he will consider... I'll consider that. We're not going to do that yet. So the next day, move, move. He could do big game medium and go for the ghost, and that would be sort of a trivial way to do that. Move, move, move. 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 into the ruin. So move, 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 move into the ruins. He does big game medium, right? And done. And that's it. So, okay, day 14. So the first thing that's going to happen is when we roll these, those monsters are going to come off the board. So all giants and trolls come off the board. So that giant comes off the board. That's unfortunate for, let's say, the Witch King. That's the only guy that's going to show up. And we got that order. So the Druid goes up to here. He doesn't pull anything, and he is done. The Dwarf is going to make his move with his buddy, and they're just going to go 1, 2, extra, extra. Done. He, though, is going to draw with Roar 6. That's going to draw the 2 trolls. And that's going to change his universe a little bit because he might want to try to kill those trolls. Now, these trolls are not great fights for these guys because they can auto hit a lot of the... I think he can take them if they flip. So he's good. I think the dwarf might be good. Remember, we have a goblin buddy too, so he can sort of run interference. I think on the 5/5 side they might be okay. You'd have to check. You have to check the whatchamacall. But he could take one on his sheet because he actually is in decent enough shape. So, all right, so he might try to score Troll Slayer in the coming weeks. He goes with the dwarf, so he is done. And the Witch King, what the hell is the Witch King doing? He is resting twice to pull these chips back. And he flips that one, and then he moves up into 2. So he moves there, and he is done. So that was week 2, and that was a crazy eventful week for certain. So we have to check scores here. Woods Girl is dead, so she scored 4 points. I'm going to keep her. Her tally is there. She has 2 great treasures. You do have to still beat her to get that score, and I've sort of, that's maybe a little new because that gives her a score, right? Her score is effectively 2. She loses 2 points for dying, but she does get 2 points at the end of that. The Witch King has 3 cards. His prowess is 16. His gold is 16. He has no great treasures and no spells. He is done. The Dwarf has 2 cards. Yep. He has 15 gold. He has a single great treasure. And no spells. 16 gold puts him in 2nd place, behind the Druid, who now has 18 gold. The Woods Girl does not have the max prowess anymore. The Witch King has the max prowess. She does have 2nd place still, though. Okay. The Dwarf is in. Is a great treasure. Gold-wise, he is in 3rd place now. The Witch King is in 2nd place. He's in 3rd. Oops, sorry. And then finally the Druid. So let's check points. 2 points. The Druid has 3 points in cards, no points in prowess. With 18 gold, he's in 1st place. With 1 great treasure, he's effectively tied for 2nd. And he has a single learned spell, Heal, which gives him 2 points. So let's now look at the scores here. So the Woods Girl has 3 points. She's going to lose 2 for dying, so she will have a point at the end of this. The Witch King has 6 points, so we're going to put a 6 there for his sum. The Dwarf looks like still 2.5, unfortunately. Okay. And then the Druid has 7.5 points right now because he's winning gold. He's got great treasures and he's got spells. So he is well in the lead with 7.5 points. Wow. Okay. And he, that's very interesting, actually. So, and again, it was just a wacky sort of, the spells give him 2 points, so that's great. He sort of fell into the gold, let's face it, because that was the ale he delivered. And then remember, he got a point for the ale. So the ale was worth, strangely enough, 3 points to deliver as it stands. Then remember, he declared the soldiers an enemy and he thiefed. So that's another point. So yeah, he is definitely the winner of this week. But the Witch King is close behind, having also scored quite a bit. He scored Damsel, Diplomat, and Killing the Soldiers gave him a point. So I am definitely looking for. So there you go. That's week 2. The Woods Girl, of course, died, which sucks because she's a really good character, and maybe I should have just dumped that quest, maybe, and just not gone for it. I think the Witch King and the Druid obviously are going to go after those ghosts, and hopefully the Witch King will rescue, so that'll score him some points. But then also the Druid might catch big game, but we'll see who actually gets the kills, because remember, you got to kill something to actually get that. And we'll see how the week goes. So I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please, tell me what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. If you have any questions, I know that the game is a little wacky the way that I play it. I mean, Magic Realm is nothing if not fairly customizable, and a and it's very, very varied. Every game, two games are never the same in this game, which is a fascinating aspect of its design. So that is it. Please, like I said, tell me if you need anything. If you like the video, then fire me a like, and we will probably get the next week out tomorrow or the day after. So thanks, everybody, and good night.